Get her out. Now. The bucket slammed, dirty water spreading across the marble floor, soaking her shoes. Amara didn't move. Her hand stayed on the mop. Daniel stepped closer, jaw tight. You think you can speak in my meeting? She looked at the screen behind him. Numbers still glowing. Those projections. No. His voice cut sharp. You clean. That's it. Security shifted at the door. One step closer. Amara slowly reached into her pocket, fingers brushing something thin. A card. Daniel didn't see it. Not yet. But in less than 24 hours, this room wouldn't belong to him anymore. She lifted her eyes. Are you sure you want me to leave? Daniel smirked. Try me. And that's when she almost smiled. What did she just decide? Hey, you're listening to Black Maid Stories. I'm curious. Where are you right now? And what made you click on this story? Because what Amara just did, most people wouldn't even dare. Beat? Let's see what happens next. Amara stepped out before security could touch her. The hallway lights buzzed overhead. She kept walking, wet shoes leaving faint marks behind her. A man in a suit brushed past. Didn't look down. Her shoulder dipped slightly, then straightened. At the service sink, she turned the faucet. Cold water rushed over her hands. Gray streaks slid off her skin, spiraling down the drain. She didn't rush. On the counter, her folded cloth, lined perfectly with the edge. She adjusted it, once, until it sat flat. Voices echoed faintly from the boardroom behind the door. Laughter, then silence. Amara reached into her pocket again. That same thin card. She held it between two fingers, then flipped it once. Black. No logo. She slid it back. Footsteps approached. Elliot Shaw, the CFO, slowed as he passed her. His eyes dropped, just for a second, toward her hands, then to the door she had just walked out of. He didn't stop, but his jaw tightened. Amara turned off the faucet. Water stopped instantly. A drop slid from her wrist, hit the tile. She grabbed her cart and pushed forward. Near the exit, a guard stepped in front of her. Ma'am, they said you're done here. Amara nodded once. No argument. She reached for the badge clipped to her shirt, paused, then unclipped it. The plastic snapped softly in her hand. Instead of handing it over, she placed it on the nearby desk, aligned perfectly with the edge. The guard frowned. You need to. It's fine, she said quiet. He hesitated. She turned and walked out anyway. Outside, the glass doors closed behind her with a dull thud. Across the street, a black car idled. Engine running. Tinted windows. Amara slowed, just slightly. The back door clicked open. No driver stepped out. No one called her name. She stood there, one step away from the curb. Then the window rolled down halfway, and a woman's voice, calm, precise. Miss Cole, you took longer than expected. The car door opened without a word. Amara stepped in. The seat was smooth. No wrinkles, no crumbs, nothing out of place. The door shut behind her with a soft click. Across from her, a woman sat straight, tablet resting on her knee. No greeting. Just a glance, quick, measured, then back to the screen. You were dismissed, the woman said. Amara didn't answer. The car pulled away. No driver in sight, just the quiet hum of motion. Outside, the building shrank in the tinted glass. Inside, silence held. The woman tapped once on the tablet. A photo appeared, Daniel Wright, mid-speech, hand raised, confident. He didn't even ask why you spoke, she added. Amara's gaze stayed forward. No, she said. A pause. The woman finally looked up. Good. She turned the screen. Numbers, contracts, signatures waiting. All he had to do was listen. Amara reached into her pocket again, pulled out the black card this time, set it on the seat between them. The woman didn't touch it. Didn't need to. You still want to proceed? She asked. Amara looked at the reflection in the dark window. The building behind them now smaller. Yes. The woman nodded once. Then we don't warn him again. Outside, traffic slowed. A red light. Inside, the tablet screen shifted, new document loading. At the top, acquisition authority, final approval pending. The woman's finger hovered above the screen. Once this goes through, he answers to you. Amara didn't blink. Not yet, she said. The woman paused. For now, he still thinks he's in control. Green light. The car moved again. And somewhere above them, back in that glass office, Daniel was still standing where he left her, not knowing what was already set in motion, and what he'd just lost, without even realizing it. The elevator doors opened on the executive floor. Amara stepped out, same shoes, still damp at the edges. Two assistants looked up. One blinked. The other leaned closer, whispering something quick, sharp. Amara didn't slow. At the end of the hallway, the boardroom doors stood half open. Voices inside, tight, controlled. Daniel's voice cut through first. We proceed. No dilas. A man near the door turned as Amara approached. Hey, this floor is restricted. She kept walking. His hand came up, blocking her path. You can't just... I know, she said. And then she stepped around him. Inside, the room went still. 10 people. Suits. Tablets. Pens midair. Daniel turned. For a second, he didn't react. Then his face tightened. You again. Amara walked straight to the table. Didn't look at anyone else. Didn't stop at the edge. She placed both hands flat on the polished surface, water still clinging faintly to her sleeves. You're about to sign something you don't understand. Silence. One executive leaned back, scoffing under his breath. Another tapped his tablet, recording. Daniel let out a short laugh. Security clearly didn't do their job. No one moved. Not yet. Amara's eyes shifted to the document in front of him. Page 12, she said. Second clause under liability transfer. A woman near the end of the table flipped pages automatically, then froze. Daniel didn't look down. Enough, he said. Amara didn't raise her voice. If you sign that, the risk moves entirely to you. Now Daniel's pen stopped, just for a second. Then he slammed it down. I said enough. The room flinched. Security rushed in from behind. One grabbed her arm. Not rough but firm. You need to leave. Now. Amara didn't resist. But she didn't step back either. Her gaze stayed locked on Daniel. You still have time. The guard pulled harder. A chair scraped sharply across the floor. Someone muttered, This is insane. Daniel stood slowly, buttoned his jacket, walked closer. Close. Enough to see the water still dripping from her sleeve onto the floor. You don't belong in this room, he said low. Amara held his stare. No, she said. A beat. Then, neither does that contract. A few heads turned back to the document. Too late. Daniel's hand lifted, not to strike but to point at the door. Throw her out. The grip on her arm tightened. She was pulled back one step, then another. Her hand slid off the table, leaving behind a faint streak of water across the polished surface. No one wiped it. No one spoke. As she reached the door, Amara turned once more. Not at Daniel. At the table. At the signatures waiting. Then she said, quiet. I tried, and let herself be pulled out. The door slammed shut. Inside, silence stretched. Then Daniel picked up his pen again. Hovering. One of the executives leaned forward. Daniel, maybe we should just check it. Daniel didn't look up. She's a cleaner. The pen lowered. Closer. Closer, then a phone on the table lit up. Unknown number. It started vibrating. No one moved. The screen flashed again. Incoming call. And under it, one word appeared. Hold. The door slammed behind her. The hallway swallowed the sound, but not the eyes. Two assistants stood frozen. One covered her mouth. The other whispered, Is she crazy? The guard didn't let go. Keep moving. Amara's arm twisted slightly as he pushed her forward. Her shoes squeaked on the polished floor. From inside the boardroom, voices rose. Daniel, this doesn't feel right. Sit down. The guard shoved the elevator button. Hard. He glanced at her. You really thought that was a good idea? Amara didn't answer. The elevator dinged. Doors opened. He pushed her in. Another guard stepped inside. Too close. Too tight. People like you always think you're smarter than you are, the second one muttered. Amara's fingers curled slightly, then stilled. The doors slid shut. Silence except the hum of dissent. One guard snorted. Interrupting a deal like that? You just burned every chance you had. Amara looked at the mirrored wall. 3 reflections. 2 uniforms. 1 woman, still standing straight. The elevator stopped. Doors opened again. Lobby. Bright. Open. Watching. A few heads turned immediately. Whispers started low, quick. She's the one? From upstairs. The guards didn't slow. They walked her straight across the floor. No attempt to hide it. No attempt to soften it. Public. Deliberate. At the front desk, the supervisor looked up. Brows raised. What happened? She disrupted a board meeting, one guard said. Flat. The supervisor's lips parted, then curved slightly. Of course she did. A few people nearby chuckled. Amara stood still. The guard finally released her arm, but didn't step away. Hand over anything you took, he said. Amara didn't move. I didn't take anything. He leaned closer. Don't make this worse. A pause. Then he reached for her pocket. Amara's hand snapped up. Fast. Stopped his wrist midair. The room shifted. A few gasps. The guard's face hardened instantly. You just made a big mistake. The second guard stepped forward. Hands where I can see them. Now. Amara slowly let go. Raised her hands. Calm. The first guard yanked her pocket inside out. Nothing. He checked the other side. Nothing. His jaw tightened. Search the bag. Amara set it down herself. Opened it. Empty except for a folded cloth. The supervisor leaned forward, disappointed. That's it. The guard zipped it shut, hard, then shoved it back at her chest. Get out. Amara caught it without looking down. No flinch. No reaction. The supervisor crossed her arms. You should be grateful we're not calling the police. A man nearby laughed. Yeah. For what? Trying to play CEO for 5 minutes. More laughter. Short. Sharp. Uncomfortable. Amara didn't blink. The first guard stepped closer again, invading her space. You embarrassed the wrong people today. A beat. People who can make sure you don't work anywhere again. Silence spread wider this time. Even the whispers stopped. Amara's grip tightened on the strap of her bag. Knuckles pale. The guard leaned in. Say something. Nothing. He smirked. That's what I thought. Behind them, the elevator dinged again. Everyone turned just slightly. Daniel stepped out. Jacket straight. Expression flat. The room shifted instantly. Postures changed. Voices dropped. Power walked in. He didn't look at anyone else. Only at her. Slow steps across the lobby. Measured. Controlled. He stopped right in front of Amara. Close enough that the guard stepped back. No one spoke. Daniel tilted his head slightly, studying her. You're still here. Amara met his eyes. Yes. A beat. Then he smiled. Small. Cold. You really don't know when to stop. No answer. He took another step closer. Lowered his voice. Let me make this simple. The room leaned in without moving. You walk out that door. He gestured behind her. And you don't come back. A pause. Anywhere near this company. Silence. Amara didn't move. Didn't nod. Didn't look away. Daniel's smile faded. You think you're warning me? No response. He leaned in even closer. Or are you just looking for attention? A flicker barely there in Amara's eyes. Gone just as fast. Daniel saw it. Pressed harder. You don't get to walk into MY room. Question MY decisions. And then stand here like you matter. Each word sharper. Slower. Final. Around them, no one breathed. Amara's fingers tightened again on the bag. The strap creaked softly under pressure. Her shoulders rose, just slightly, then settled. Stillness. Controlled. Daniel straightened. Satisfied. Get her out of my sight. The guard stepped forward again. Hands ready. Waiting. Amara didn't move. Not yet. Her eyes stayed on Daniel. Unblinking. Her hand shifted just slightly toward her coat. Stopped. Held there. Like a line about to be crossed. But not yet. The glass doors slid open. Outside, gray light. Flat. No shadows. Amara stepped out. The noise from inside cut off instantly. Just air. Still. A bus passed. Wind pushed dust across the pavement. She didn't move far. Just 2 steps from the door. Stopped. Her reflection lingered faintly in the glass behind her. Then faded as the doors closed. Inside, blurred figures. Moving. Busy. Unaware. Amara stood there. Bag hanging from her shoulder. Strap slightly twisted. She fixed it. Slowly. Across the street, the black car was still there. Engine low. Steady. No signal. No movement. She didn't look at it right away. Instead, she glanced down at her sleeve. A thin water stain, dried at the edge. Her fingers. Brushed it once. Gone. A man exited the building behind her. Didn't look at her. Walked past. Another followed. Same. Amara inhaled. Slow. Her shoulders lifted. Then lowered. The city moved around her. She didn't. Faint click. The car door unlocked. Soft. Precise. Amara's eyes shifted. Just slightly. The back window lowered again. Halfway. The same woman inside, still, composed. Watching. Waiting. No wave. No call. Just presence. Amara adjusted her grip on the bag. 1 step forward. Then stopped. Her hand slipped into her coat. Paused. Then came back out empty. She walked. Across the street. Each step measured. The car grew larger. Closer. The door opened before she reached it. She didn't hesitate this time. Didn't look back. She stepped in. The door closed behind her, sealing the silence. Inside, the woman finally spoke. You let him finish. Amara nodded once. Yes. A beat. The tablet screen lit up between them. A single line appeared. Final authorization. Ready. The woman's finger hovered. Amara looked at it. Then shifted her gaze forward. Not yet. The woman paused. Amara's hand moved again, this time reaching into her pocket. Slow. Deliberate. She pulled something out. Not the card. Something smaller. Folded. Worn. She placed it on the seat. The woman's eyes dropped, then lifted again. A new look now. Different. Where did you get that? Amara didn't answer. Outside, the building reflected in the tinted glass. Hi. Untouched. For now. Amara leaned back, still watching it. Drive, she said. The car didn't move immediately. The woman's eyes stayed on the folded paper. Then she tapped the screen, and everything changed direction. The car stopped in front of a different entrance. Not the lobby. A side access, glass, tinted, guarded. The door opened before the engine fully died. 2 men in suits stepped forward. No questions. They pulled the door open wider. Ms. Vale is expecting you. Amara stepped out. Same shoes. Same bag. Different eyes watching her now. Inside, quiet corridors. No chatter. No laughter. Only footsteps. Measured. At the end, a conference room. Smaller. Darker. Inside, for people already seated. Including Elliot Shaw. He looked up the moment she entered. Didn't speak. But his posture shifted, straightened. The woman from the car walked in behind her. Placed the tablet on the table. Turned it. Acquisition authority. Final approval. Amara didn't sit yet. She placed the folded paper down in front of Elliot. Opened it. Slow. Printed clause. Highlighted. The exact same one from Daniel's contract. Elliot leaned forward. Scanning. Then he froze. His hand stopped midair. That's, he muttered. No one answered. He looked up at Amara. Then at the others. They didn't catch this? Silence. Amara pulled a chair. Saturday. Calm. They didn't want to. The woman, Ms. Vale, stepped forward. Hands behind her back. Or he didn't. Elliot swallowed. Hard. He looked at the tablet again. Then back at Amara. You knew. Amara met his gaze. Yes. A beat. Elliot leaned back slowly, ran a hand across his mouth. He signed. Ms. Vale nodded once. 10 minutes ago. Silence dropped heavy. Elliot let out a breath. Short. That clause shifts all liability. No one corrected him. He looked at Amara again. You tried to stop it. Amara didn't answer. Didn't need to. The room already knew. Ms. Vale tapped the screen. The document updated. New line appearing at the bottom. Ownership transfer. Activated. Elliot stared at it. Then at her. Effective? Immediately? Ms. Vale's voice stayed even. As of the moment his signature touched the page. A long pause. Elliot's chair creaked as he leaned forward again. So Daniel Wright just signed away his own control. No one smiled. No one reacted. Just the quiet weight of it. Amara finally moved. She reached for the black card. Placed it on the table. Turned it. This time, the surface lit slightly under the overhead light. A name embossed. Subtle, but clear. Amara Cole, Executive Authority. Elliot's eyes locked onto it. Didn't blink. You weren't just evaluating him. Amara stood. Pushed the chair back slowly. No, she adjusted the sleeve of her coat. Precise. Clean. Then looked directly at him. I was the one he needed to convince. Elliot exhaled. Almost a laugh. But it didn't come out. Just air. Ms. Vale stepped aside. Giving space. Not leading anymore. Following. Amara picked up the tablet. Turned it toward herself. Signed. One motion. No hesitation. The system responded instantly. Primary control. Confirmed. Elliot watched it happen. Didn't interrupt. Didn't question. Just watched. Amara set the tablet down. Then turned toward the door. Prepare the announcement. Ms. Vale nodded. Already moving. Elliot stayed seated. Still processing. Amara paused at the doorway. Looked back once. Not at the room. At Elliot. You stayed quiet. He didn't deny it. Didn't defend it. Just lowered his eyes. A second. Then looked back up. Too late. Amara opened the door. Walked out. The hallway lights caught the edge of her name again. Clear now. Visible. No uniform. No valle. Just authority. Behind her, Elliot finally stood. Slow. Unsteady. He looked at the screen one more time. Then at the empty chair Daniel used to own. And for the first time, he didn't know where to stand anymore. The boardroom door opened again. Not rushed this time. Amara stepped in first. Same table. Same chairs. Different air. Daniel was still there. Jacket off now. Sleeves rolled once. His pen sat untouched in front of him. No one spoke when she entered. They watched. Daniel looked up. His eyes moved slowly, taking in her coat, her posture, the absence of the cleaning cart. He didn't stand. Amara walked to the head of the table. His chair. She didn't sit yet. Just rested her hand on the back of it. Daniel's fingers tightened around his pen. Is this some kind of joke? He said. Quiet. Controlled. No one answered him. Amara turned the tablet toward the table. The screen lit up. Primary control. Confirmed. A few heads shifted. One executive leaned forward. Another sat back silent. Daniel looked at the screen, then at her, then back again. His hand released the pen. It rolled once, stopped at the edge. No, he said. Not loud. Just final. Amara didn't respond. She pulled the chair back. Saturday. The movement was small, but the room adjusted around it. Daniel stayed where he was. Didn't move. Didn't interrupt. Amara tapped once. A document appeared. Clean. Structured. Meeting continues, she said. Simple. No edge. No weight added. The words landed. Anyway, Daniel let out a breath. Almost a laugh. He leaned back slowly. Hands empty now. Of course it does. No one reacted. One by one, eyes dropped back to the table. To her. Not him. Amara shifted a page. Clause 12 is now active, she said. A few nods. Quiet. Daniel watched it happen. Didn't stop it. Didn't reach for anything. just watched. After a moment, he stood. Chair legs scraped softly. No one looked up this time. He adjusted his sleeve. Once. Then reached for his jacket. Didn't rush. Didn't hesitate. He walked past her. Close. Close enough to speak. He didn't. At the door, his hand paused on the handle. A second. Then he opened it. Light from the hallway spilled in. He stepped out. The door closed behind him. No Islam. Just a click. Inside, the room stayed still. Amara didn't look at the door. Didn't follow him. She turned the page. Next item, she said. And the meeting moved forward. Like it always had. Just without him. The hallway lights dimmed as the last door clicked shut. Amara walked alone. Her steps steady. Even. In her hand, the old cleaning cloth folded small. She paused by a glass wall. Outside, the city moved. Cars. Lights. Distance. Her reflection stood still. No uniform. No badge. Just her. She lifted the cloth. Pressed it once against the glass. The faint streak. Then gone. Clean. She folded it again. Precise. Down the hall. A nameplate waited on a door. Fresh. Aligned. Amara Cole, she didn't touch it. Just looked. A breath in. Slow. Then she stepped inside. The door closed softly behind her. Outside, the hallway stayed empty. Quiet. Like nothing had happened. But the light under her door stayed on. She didn't say anything when he walked past her. And somehow that said everything. If you were in her place, after being humiliated like that, would you have stopped him? Or let him walk away just like she did? I'm curious how you see it.